Redfin, I sold 160 homes.
Yep.
And I had like 50 5-star reviews.
Yep.
When I left Redfin, my entire everything was just gone.
You were
like
deleted.
I never existed as an agent.
Interesting.
You know, it didn't matter. The awards didn't matter. That stuff didn't matter. But at the end of the day, build your brand, build your team, whatever it is that you want to do.
I have to say this happened to me too because I was a Redfin partner agent.
Putting myself out there, there's a lot of people that are jealous.
You could say there's haters.
There's a lot of haters. Yes, there's a lot of haters.
Put it on the private network, and you're not giving any description. You're not doing social media pre-marketing kind of stuff. Hey guys, I'm in this house. I'm excited.
Yeah. Are you doing private to show that your company has private listings? Yeah.
We have to admit, us realtors, we love this stuff. You know, realtors love the change and who's doing what, this and that. It keeps us on our toes. And
I think all the attention is online. It's on this device. They're paying all the Google ads to get all the clicks.
Yeah.
So is that a good thing for consumers?
I'm picturing like
I'm just saying. I'm
Terminator and Greg's coming back from the future,
Yeah,
landing naked to let us know
But
that
now
the
this is my
future
point.
not great.
This is my point where I'm going to. All right, guys, we are at episode 53. I cannot believe it. And today is a special episode because I'm surrounded by all ladies from XR. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I'm blessed, you know? And they're a little upset with me today because I'm super late. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, I get it.
We're used to it.
Lots of love. Anyways, I think for the most part, you probably guys know everybody, but I want to reintroduce everybody. They'll tell you about themselves a little bit, and this episode we'll talk about a little bit of everything, and then some trendy stuff, and maybe we'll heat it up a little bit too. Here all the way on the left, Jen. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Very happy to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I've been in real estate for almost 9 years. Started as a transaction/listing coordinator. Spent almost my entire career with Redfin, which was a different animal. Found my freedom last year.
Nice. You were in the cage.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes. Absolutely.
We'll talk about Redfin a little later.
Yeah.
my turn?
Yes, Nancy.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Nancy Sergi. I have been in real estate, this pains me to say, since 2009.
Okay.
I was 24 years old, and in 16 years, I am still 24 years old. And we're going to keep it like that.
Absolutely.
It's really been an honor to be in this industry and grow with it in the Chicagoland industry. And I'm super happy and honored to be at XR Realty. I never imagined I'd be able to find such a great brokerage that gives so much flexibility and support.
Yes.
It's very rare. I've seen a lot of brokerages. I had one of my own, and this feels like I'm at home. So
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We love having you. Because at the end of the day, the people make XR.
Yes.
That's pretty much
absolutely.
it. Then on the right, she's been in some of my podcasts before. We got Sherry. Hello.
Hi, I'm here again, Sherry Apollo. I have been in real estate 18 years. Yes,
Wow.
18 years.
We're like all veterans.
Yeah, right?
You know? I'm not going to tell you how many years I've been in. So go ahead.
I started part-time. I started in 2007 when the market crashed. So I've seen a lot of things happen in real estate.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. I'm excited to be here. I now have been with XR a full year.
Wow.
Just celebrated my anniversary. I started on the 7th of July.
Wow.
So 2 days ago,
Wow, I
a
can't
year
believe
with
it.
XR. And I'm
Wow.
so excited.
Congratulations.
I'm really happy. I really am happy. There's a lot of things that are happening in my life. We'll go into details a little bit more later, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about
Okay.
the market. We'll talk about what's happening, and let's move forward.
Do you guys want to talk about the market? You want to talk about the market?
Let's talk
right
about
away?
what's happening. Let's talk about it.
I mean, a lot is happening. I feel like since COVID, it's definitely was a seller's market.
Okay.
I think we're still in a seller's market, but leaning more in the middle. And D-list, I think Realtor.com announced yesterday that D-list are up 47% across the country.
D-list meaning like the listing is just going away. They're canceling.
So everything that happened with COVID and just the craziness that the market was, we had very ambitious sellers
Yep.
once rates went up,
Yep.
a lot of them didn't really adjust expectation. And so now what we're seeing is homes that are sitting on the market for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers are just a lot more careful about what they're purchasing. You know,
You
paying
feel
the
like
rates that
buyers,
they're paying.
sorry to interrupt you feel like buyers are nervous a little bit when they're coming out? And
First of all, everybody's still holding on to when are the 2.5% rates going to come back?
Of course.
You know, you have to set that expectation and that
Yeah.
reality for them. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely nervous. It's a big investment. It's a big part of their lives, and you know, there's not a ton of inventory, and there's still
correct.
competition.
Correct. What do you see, Nancy, with the buyers?
So actually, recently in the past couple weeks, I love being out with buyers,
Yeah.
you know, to get the pulse of the economy and the real estate market. And I'm starting to see and hear that buyers are like, you know what, we're sick of waiting,
Wow.
because all you hear is wait for rates to come down, prices to come down. And I
crash,
think like
whatever.
people are
Yeah.
just at that point where they have to take action.
Yep.
Because that's what life is. You
Yep.
can't always sit on the
Yep.
sidelines.
Yep. I agree.
So that's what I'm hearing.
Plus, I think like what happens, you know, they calculate their payments, right? So even if
Yeah.
they're at 7%, they're like, oh man, it's high. Like I had a client yesterday, 350, they're high rate with the taxes. The payment's gonna be like $3,000.
Yeah.
And it sounds outrageous. It really sounds outrageous, but based on rates like they were before. But then if you look in the rental market, myself, a 3-bedroom apartment, I'm not giving it to you less than $2,500, maybe $2,000, depending the area.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So that's why I think they're doing that calculation. They're like, you know what? Maybe it's just better I ditch out another $500-$600 and just own the place and build my own equity.
I
Yeah.
think people have had enough. Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah, I
right,
think
Sherry? What do you
so.
think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it depends on the areas. I really think
Okay.
it depends on the areas, the price ranges that you're looking into,
Mm-hmm.
where you want to be, because there's still multiple offers. out
That's true.
there. I still see it. I still have difficulties with some of my
Okay.
clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on the area.
But I think like the buyers that are in the market buying, I feel like they have some money. They have some money. They're approved. Their jobs are pretty high paid, so they're not like completely where like they can't afford it.
Yeah. And I feel like
know.
there's been a lot of FOMO, just fear of missing out.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of times it makes some buyers like hesitant.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, what about the next? You know, what's going to come? What's going to
Yeah.
come? What's going to come?
Okay.
I think one of the conversations I had the other day with Carlos was about the market doesn't reward patience; it rewards preparation and pressure. Right?
That's true.
Because if you're waiting and you're trying to be patient,
That's true.
and there's another person who's right behind you ready
Yep.
to go,
Yep.
that person's gonna, you know,
Yep.
move
Yep.
forward and get
Yep.
what they're ready for.
I agree. You know, you gotta take a little risk. You know what I mean? You can't.
Absolutely.
It's hard to. And don't get me wrong. There's some people who wanna, know everything by the T, right? You know, but sometimes you're not gonna know. Some stuff
Yeah.
are gonna be unpredictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like
you
can't.
can only prep so much.
You can't control everything. You know, like the economy right now is good. You know, everything's doing good, but I don't know what's going to happen. You know, we can't control Iran attacking somebody or the government messing up something. Or, I mean, it's the truth. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
It's true.
I mean, I've seen it all. I saw from, God bless, 9/11 happened. Then I saw, the crash of 08 happen, COVID. I mean, that's
Yeah.
stuff that we didn't know was coming.
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime, you just gotta. I feel like one thing I always feel safe is that America's pretty strong, and I feel like we're kind of like almost like self. We could make our own self economy.
Very
Eh.
resilient, right?
Yeah, and they're not gonna let it crash, in my opinion.
I think another thing is very important that I have to mention because this happened to me last week.
What happened?
As agents, we really have to get these properties ready. I mean, we have to make sure that they're clean. We have to educate our sellers to make sure that they're decluttered. On the balconies,
You talking about the seller side right now?
on the seller side, like as agents, we need to educate our sellers. Like on these balconies, there's birds that are flying and there's things.
Do you just tell them you tell
Just
them?
let the sellers know, hey, let's clean the balconies. Let's make sure that we declutter because people are seeing when you're walking
Yeah.
into a properties, people
Yeah.
are seeing these things and they're gonna lowball you.
Yeah.
Whatever they
That's
see.
true.
And
But what about there's a seller that they don't want to do nothing?
Oh, well, you
I'm
know,
just saying,
maybe
you know.
then, you know, as sometimes I do it, you know, sometimes
Okay,
I'll go in
okay.
there and do it
Okay.
because you know what, I want to get the best price for the seller,
Yeah,
and I'll go in
yeah,
there and do it
yeah,
myself because
yeah.
at the end of the day,
It's
I
a
don't want
iffy
to look
situ-
kind of
yeah.
bad, you
I know.
know.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And
Yeah.
I think you do a great
Yeah.
job and everything. Myself, it's an iffy situation over the years where like some people understand and some people just don't. Some people just live like that and they're happy like that. What I think is dirty for them is clean. I'm just saying.
It's
Yeah.
the truth.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
true.
so everybody have different perspectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
always try to like meet people where
Yeah.
they're at as an
Yeah.
agent. You just gotta
Yeah.
understand that we're all so different.
Yeah, yeah.
But
there's all
Sherry
that.
has
I
a
don't know.
great
You
point.
have a great point. Trust me.
This
You're
one was
gonna.
a little different because this was a situation where it was like an estate,
Okay.
you know, where
Okay.
Wow.
you know it wasn't the actual people that
Okay.
own the
Yeah.
property.
I get it.
At the end of the day,
But-
we have
Yeah.
to make sure that
We're renting.
we're having conversations about
Yeah.
the market with our
Yes,
sellers, that
100%.
we're prepping them for expectations, that we're
100%.
pricing accurately,
Yes.
and, you know, that they're prepping the home as much as possible, right? And if that means that we show up the day before to help them out, then that's what we do, right?
Yes.
I mean, we go the extra mile.
Yeah,
so
we do.
that's what we do.
100%.
Exactly.
100%. I mean, I probably have outstanding, I don't know, about $6-7 grand outstanding right now. I still got to collect because I sent the landscaper, I sent the painter, I sent
Yeah.
the guy to fix the drywall. I sent, yeah. So, yeah, that's exactly what we do.
And sometimes if you explain to them,
You know?
like, if you fix this or if you clean this up, it actually might bring you more money. So it
100%.
might be in your best interest to,
100%.
take that note.
100%. Yeah.
And they like to hear that when you say, you can get me more money if I do X, Y, and Z, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's good.
I agree. I agree.
Even pre-sale inspections, I think, making sure that
Yeah.
we're addressing, you know, anything that could come up on an inspection. Let's get that out of the way so that we're not negotiating $5,000-$10,000 after we're under
Yeah.
contract. Let's try to make it as clean as possible.
Though the pre-inspection, I feel like is iffy a little bit. You know, you gotta kind of explain what good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're now aware about something, they're gonna have to disclose it.
Yeah,
And maybe there's something not to, you know, we want to keep it as
yeah, yeah.
as,
But more so
whatever
to
they feel
address it
comfortable,
in
whatever they
advance.
feel comfortable. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, if they're comfortable with, like myself on my properties, I'm comfortable with pre-inspection, no problem.
For
But there's
sure.
some people like I don't know, maybe it was grandpa house and
Yeah,
and
it
it's
varies
150
on,
years
on
old,
the house.
and the niece from California is like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not doing pre-inspection. Then I'm gonna get, you know, it's like as is, put it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. It definitely varies on the house and the
Yeah.
condition and
Yeah.
are they selling as is and
Yeah.
all that stuff
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Putting on the market privately.
Oh man, hot
Thoughts
topic,
on-
hot
Like-
topic.
Thoughts on private?
I've seen it 6 months in
Okay.
advance. What do you feel about that?
6 months in advance, just put it on the private side. Okay. I think first we should explain. Maybe one of you could
Yeah.
explain what it means because you know the consumer at the end of the day, you know, they hear all the terminology and private, not private. They don't know. They're like, I thought I'd click on Google and find the property.
Yeah.
What the heck you talking about? There's another private site that I can't look at it. I need an access code. They're like, well, why do I call a realtor for? So maybe let's explain what private and not private
So
mean.
private listings are listings that are on the MLS, usually typically as coming soon. Very little information, depending on how much information the agent wants to put out there, but very little is required, mostly just price and if you want to throw some photos and a description, but that's usually the gist of what you're getting. It's used as kind of like pre-marketing, just to kind of gauge if there's any interest, anybody reaching out in advance. I feel like it was very useful during COVID, during that whole market, and that's where I feel like it really blew up. And things like Zen lists
Yeah.
came from that. But now I don't know if it's as necessary. I don't know that I get a ton of phone calls off of the private, anything that's on the private anymore. I feel
I think it helps a lot on the private if it's an estate sale. Again, going back to the state.
Okay.
Like if somebody's, I'm getting it ready, you know, we're having an estate sale this weekend. We're just trying to get a lot of things sold during that time so we can get it ready for the market, a couple of weeks, getting
Yeah.
people excited about this property. Maybe people will drive by to kind of see, maybe even people that will probably take advantage of the estate and sell some things for the seller,
Yeah.
you know? That would be
Okay.
kind of great, right? Because the seller then can sell a couple things because it is listed.
But if you have it on private, would you let the consumer in? Well, if a buyer calls you, it's on private, he drove around, and he knows because he has a special, agent that sends him private
If the-
listings.
If
Would you
the
let them in?
seller allows it, yes. If the seller
Okay.
says absolutely no,
What about accepting an offer?
if the seller would want to accept, if the seller says yes, then yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it all depends on the
I
seller.
typically don't.
The
If
seller-
I do private, I don't allow showings. I mean, this is just more
Okay.
FYI, we're coming out. That's how I usually work them.
Okay.
Because I try to create as much demand at the open house and
Okay.
as many people at the open house to create that sense of urgency.
Okay.
Where if I'm letting people in, in
Come on.
advance, and it's a little bit different. But I think with every home, like when you're talking about an estate sale, when you're talking about especially a home that's not necessarily public ready, photo ready, then right? I mean, I
Yeah.
just went under contract on one in Schiller Park. Same thing. I mean, they don't even have photos out. They're finally activated, but all the showings happened pre-list, and we were under contract pre-going on the market.
I
So
think
I think it really depends
It
on the listing.
depends, yeah, it depends on the property, I think, for sure.
Okay.
So
Go ahead,
I'm not
Nancy.
the biggest fan in my 16 years. I don't know. I know it depends on your situation and what's going on, but I'm the type of agent that I'm going to advise most times that just hit the market and hit it hard and,
Yep. Yep.
put your best foot forward and see what happens. Because
Yep.
then, to me, it puts all agents and all brokerages on their toes. If you've got somebody that wants to come and buy the listing, then they all have to be rushing to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So
I agree.
that's my mentality, but I
Right.
do respect, the private listings. There's a place and time for them.
Yeah.
There is a reason that it's there. But for me,
Correct.
in general, 99% of the time, I say just hit the market.
Yeah. I'm in your same philosophy myself. Of course,
Yeah.
I don't judge. Everybody could do it however they want, and the sellers have an option, right? But I like it to list like a new iPhone, right?
Yes,
You get the
yeah.
excitement. You're telling them about it a little bit. I'm doing a little marketing here and there. And then I get everybody in the same day.
Yes.
When the new iPhone comes out, you have a line out the door. Maybe the features suck, but people are still buying it.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
I think it depends on
But-
how you do it, right?
Yeah.
That is the proper, I think, way to do it. Whereas if you just put it on the private network and you're not giving any description and you're not
Yeah.
putting photos
Right.
and then, you're not doing social media pre-marketing kind of stuff. Hey guys, I'm in this house, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Then
I think the
feel
big
like it's
debate
different.
is, sorry to interrupt you. The big debate is that, are you doing it private to make sure your seller gets the best money? Or are you doing private to show that your company has private listings and you're special?
Yeah, well,
Those are two different things that I think that's the biggest debate and what I've been seeing out there. I don't want to name any companies, but then again, if I talk with them and debate with them, they'll tell me, oh, I'm able to make it seem like it's not available. The couple buyers I get, they're going to pay me the most. So they think it's reverse psychology that the buyer's going to pay them the most because they think they're going to get like something that nobody else is going to get.
yeah,
So that's how they defend themselves.
yeah.
But is that in the best interest of the client to get the most money?
But that's how
Yeah.
they technically spin it. Like,
And they can
they
do
might
that.
think our spin is different, their spin is different.
Yeah.
My only thing I like to go, I don't know, I don't judge, but I judge what I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I judge, yes, I do, but I judge what I know. What I know. What I know European market in real estate, and it sucks. It sucks big time. And they hate their system, and they love our USA MLS system, where it's public, and everybody has a shot, and there's a clear corporation, all
So
this
how
stuff.
does that work, the European market?
European, everybody gets a listing. You could have, and it's brokerage. There's not an MLS.
There's no MLS?
No MLS. So XR could have 10 listings, and then, whatever, across the street, RX
How do
could
you
have
market
another
it?
10 listings.
How's it marketed?
They keep it private, and they're like, they don't want to pay, they're not paying a buyer agent most of the time.
Wow.
Because they want to just have their list and their special,
Yeah,
kind of like, that's how they do it.
yeah,
And it's really like it's sloppy
Yeah.
and the buyer doesn't see everything, first of all, and then the seller doesn't get a shot in the real market to see what demand is out there for everybody to see.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how that works. I'm not sure. That's why There's a whole, we could talk about it, Zillow and Compass fighting right now in court. Do they want the European system?
I think it's a very outdated thought process to think like, if I only allow a small select people to see the property, then they'll compete for. I just don't feel like that's. I think, like I said, during COVID, that was very popular.
Yes.
But I think it's outdated. I don't think that we need that anymore. The market has shifted, and you have to shift with it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. What do you got to do? You know what I mean? You gotta adapt. And we keep on going.
I think that's the thing. Everybody's just trying something different to be unique and causing a stir.
Yeah.
And you have to admit, us realtors, we love this stuff. Realtors love the change and who's doing what, this and that. It keeps us on our toes. And I think in the end, we all just want to better the system for the consumer. Yeah. And we're trying our best because we've gotten a lot of heat in the past years.
So we've been around, sorry to interrupt you. Talking about that, the better the system and everything. We've been all around at this table a long time.
Yeah.
And we've seen it kind of all, right? When the consumer's calling you more on the phone, you're getting more referrals, or they're just going to like a storefront, real estate office. But right now, I think all the intention is online. It's on this device.
Yeah.
And this device, Redfin and Zillow are paying all the Google ads and all the other ads and all the whatever algorithms to get all the clicks.
Yeah.
So is that a good thing for consumer? And they're almost dictating the show.
But if you're talking about the private market, that's not on there.
I'm not talking about the private market now. I moved on. I'm talking about real estate in general.
In general, Zillow and
it's become
well, everybody's looking at Zillow. Everybody's looking at Redfin. Really, they're not looking at the MLS because that's coming from us.
But do you see? I know, but they have control then. They control because what they're doing, they're there for the consumer 100%, or they're like selling then ads on them, or selling their data, or you know what I mean, or just selling us then, because then we have to pay them to get access to the client.
They've just wedged their way in to become the middleman.
That's right.
They're that middleman.
Okay.
And that's what they've done.
So they're a tech company.
Yeah.
They have some smart people, and they just took over a whole sector. Kind of like the travel company, pretty much.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So then what happens next then? Let's think about what happens next. What about when there's a functional robot, sorry, I keep saying robot, but a functional robot that walks around and could do what we do with a great AI system installed as a software. What's going to happen then?
I don't know. I think we're far from that. I just recently saw a video
Why are we far?
of AI robots playing soccer, and it was pretty funny. So I don't know that they can do what we do. There's a lot that goes into it. And there's a lot that goes into assessing what a person needs that I don't know that the AI or a robot could really do.
I don't think there's going to be the emotional aspect of AI or the trust factor.
The trust, yes.
To be able to have somebody actually trust with the biggest financial decision of your life, of putting that in somebody's hands or in an AI.
I don't know.
Can you have a robot sell you that house? You think so?
Not a robot, but
sell you $1 million home?
No, I don't know all the way yet. At one point, I don't know, my kids or their kids, I think yes. Maybe my kids now, no, but maybe their kids, yes.
I think they already started. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
They already started to do this in Spain. They have used AI to close. I think it was like $100 million.
Yeah, I think
in deals or something like that. So they're trying to implement it places. But I believe in the human touch still. I think people crave that.
This is a human business for sure.
It is.
Okay. You're right. But I see humans how they act. And they're going on the website on Zillow and Redfin because they want to get in the house right away.
For sure.
I don't think they care much about the human person to give them a hug.
They don't.
To see the house.
They don't.
They want to go right away and see the house.
They utilize it as a touring service.
And Zillow and Redfin tells them there's a robot.
It's instant gratification. But that's not always.
So
you can only do that for so long. At the end of the day, you need somebody there, a person, not just to open the door, because we do way more than that.
Okay.
To advise you, to guide you, to teach you, to negotiate on your behalf. There's so much more.
That might be phase one, though.
Yeah.
The buyer agent, what do they do right now? Meet the buyer, set up, open the door, right?
Educate.
I mean, the ones that the buyer agent that talks with the consumer. Some consumer don't want to talk. Come on, let's be real. Everybody wants to talk with you when you do
gotta
a
talk a little bit.
When you do a random showing, you get everybody wants to talk. Some people don't want to talk. They barely want to talk with me. I'm like
Right.
tippy toy.
And I think a lot of them don't understand
You know?
what it is. You know, as when I was a Redfin agent, it was the same way. Sometimes they would just book a tour because they
Yeah.
think it's a touring service, but they have an agent, but they don't want to bother their agent.
But that's what
and
I'm
stuff
saying.
Like
Like,
that.
what about like the buyer agent could be almost like later on. I'm not saying now. Maybe in 5 years, could be almost eliminated by this robot that opens a door, or you get to check your. I don't know. Maybe at one point your identification is going to be checked on a blockchain system.
Redfin actually did that. They did that a
Tell me
couple
about
years
it.
ago.
Okay, tell me.
They had a system. It failed, but they
Okay.
had a system where through the app, it was like a self tour, and you would have to, take a photo of your ID, and then they had like a special lock on the door, and they would give you the key code, and you could do your own showing. And
Okay.
it would really only work with a vacant listing
Okay,
best,
yeah, for
but
now.
it failed. It didn't work more
For
than
now.
a few months. It didn't work. It wasn't, because at the end of the day, you walk into a house and what do you know? Right? You see, okay, it's nice, but an agent's the one that's going to be like, well, you see that
I
right
know,
there,
I
that
know.
it doesn't look great, and this right here isn't looking
You're
great.
right and not right. Sorry. For now, because the technology is not there.
Yeah.
Eventually, imagine. Sorry, I know I'm talking crazy.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Imagine somebody comes in with your ChatGPT, advanced ChatGPT, iPhone 25, and scan this house and see if the defects. And the thing comes out. I don't know. Some lights come out of the phone and like, and gives them crack on the right corner. Roof is not good. This, and that. The history. Greg Cerrone owned it in 1992, and et cetera, et cetera.
I kind
I
of see
feel
what you're saying.
I'm picturing like
I'm just saying.
No, I
I'm
kinda see what you're
Terminator
saying.
and Greg's coming back from the future,
Yeah,
landing naked
listen,
to let
listen.
us know
But
that
now,
the
this is my
future
point.
not great.
This is
No,
my
I
point
kinda
where I'm going
almost- I
to.
kind of almost agree with you
This is
a
my point.
little bit because I see my son on the VR and he knows so much
Oh,
right now.
oh, wow, interesting.
I see him on
All
this
right.
VR all the time on this virtual
VR.
tour.
Oh.
Yes, and I kind of I'm starting to think about what you're saying and everything that he knows now, especially after you said, when your kid is older and he knows so much, and he knows so much, and I'm like, he's looking at my phone and he's like telling me what to do.
Oh,
And now when we were kids, and
Oh,
we
wow.
were showing our parents what they had to do.
Yeah.
And now he's telling me what to do. So simple, so easy for him. So now that he's on the VR, and I'm like, how do you do all these things? He's so attached to it.
Yeah.
I think all this virtual stuff
Yep.
is gonna happen eventually. We don't know how far it's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
Yeah,
maybe there is gonna be something in real estate.
I don't know how far it's going to go.
Yeah.
My point of the whole story is that if these things get more advanced,
Yeah.
there's few websites can control the whole system. So that's
Yeah.
why we have to watch out as
Yeah.
agents. That's why I'm pushing here at XR as much as possible to be relevant, to take care of your own clients. Forget about new clients,
Yeah.
because your clients are going to be distracted
Yeah.
and going to go away.
I agree that this can all happen, most certainly. Like 100% this can happen. But the only thing that could stop this is if we as a collective, as humans, decide to say stop.
Yeah, I think we're too late on that.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's
Do
that
you know-
late?
I
mean,
think
we,
you're.
we
I think
rely
we're-
on AI in
I know,
so
but
many
I'm talking
ways
about
right
in
now.
real estate.
I'm
in
just
real
talking-
estate, we can put
Not-
that barrier, say,
Let me tell you something.
no,
right?
no further.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I think even 5 years ago, it was so important for a consumer to go to a grocery store and to go to Target and have that relationship with that cashier or
Yeah.
that person that showed you the aisle and you
Yeah,
Sally
we're
and
ringing
you
up our own
Bob.
groceries.
You think people care anymore? Look at Amazon.
Yeah.
Have you seen Amazon?
But at the end of the day,
I'm just
buying
saying.
groceries and having an option that's easy and convenient is different than the biggest investment of your life.
You know,
Right?
buying
And
a
so
car is a big investment too.
Some people,
Yeah? Yes or no?
sort of, yeah, sure. But some people, there will always be people who want technology and advancement and those things. But there will also always be people who want personal touch, who want human connection, who want. So yeah, I mean,
I
there's
agree.
enough people out there for all of us, I think. And Zillow and well, Rocket now, because Redfin just doesn't even really exist, but take what they need and from us and
Yeah.
take what they need from them. If Zillow and a company like Redfin, Rocket, whatever, can give them instant access, instant gratification, that's great. But there are people who don't trust that and who want more of a person, who want somebody that's not just going to show up, write an offer, and then be gone, right? Because that's what happens a lot of times in these companies. It's, you know, a person shows up, they get you into the house, that's not even your agent. Now another person is the one reaching out to you to write the offer. They've never even seen the house.
Correct.
They've never even met you. Okay, great, they're gonna write the offer. It got accepted.
I
Okay,
know.
fine. Now it goes
I know.
handed off to the next person, and now you're not gonna see that person. A lot of people don't like that.
I know, but some people, I feel we gotta stay relevant, and whatever happens with innovation, maybe we have to adapt or maybe even buy some of it, right? You know, because I feel like it's going to happen. And then, like what you said, yeah, I love the personal touch. Trust me, I'm old school. I'm really old school. I would love to just take care of 10 clients and take care of them, and you know. But the problem is that now in these days, you have to take care of multiple clients because your expenses are higher. You're paying some leads. You're paying some this and that. So sometimes you're doing even more work, right? You know what I mean, for the same money.
Yeah.
And you're multiplying the clients, and the personal touch is going away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We got to see where what happens. You know.
How fast do you think it's gonna move?
5
years? How much time are you giving us?
Before robots take over
so,
the world.
so we can plan out here.
That's why you start branding yourself. You got to start creating your brand.
Absolutely.
And it's all about you, and not even the real estate company you work in or anything, because you got to have a follower, because it's coming. I think the change is coming sooner than we think.
Should I get one of those AI robots?
You know.
An assistant?
We will.
Yeah.
We will.
You know?
Make our own robots.
That would be.
To circle back on like the branding is so important.
Yes.
You know, I've mentioned a few times, like we came from Redfin, and when we left Redfin, our entire presence was deleted off of the internet, right? We had no
Wait.
presence.
Can you repeat it again? What happened?
At Redfin, I sold 160 homes.
Yep.
When I left, and I had like 50 5-star reviews.
Yep.
When I left Redfin,
Yep.
my entire everything was just gone.
You were
Like
deleted.
I never existed as an agent.
Interesting.
You know, it didn't matter. The awards didn't matter. That, you know, that stuff didn't matter. And then when we came to XR, and you encourage us to like, sure, you can build XR. I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, build your brand,
Yep.
build your team, whatever
Yep.
it is that you want to do, because that is so
Yep.
important to start from scratch and to have zero online presence.
Yep.
After having all that experience, you know,
Yep.
I wish that I would have been more mindful of maintaining our brand and not just building Redfin's brand.
Yeah.
I have
Yep.
to say this happened to me too, because I was a Redfin partner agent. Nothing
Yep.
against them. It was a
No,
blessing.
there's
Loved
nothing
it.
wrong. Yeah.
But when I, went in a different direction, my reviews as well
Yeah.
completely disappeared, and that was like 8 years of hard work and all of my reviews in one place. And it's
Wow.
my fault, because I should have asked for it in other places as well. But you don't want to inconvenience.
You didn't think. You didn't. I mean, you
Customer.
trust the process.
So
Right.
now, yeah, it
You
is
trust
hard.
the machine.
You trust you trust
a
the
hard
machine
pill to swallow,
that they had
yeah.
a good yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel your pain.
Hard lesson
I understand.
learned,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely
You see?
building your brand is super important.
I didn't work for Redfin.
No, I get it. I never. I don't know. For myself, I worked in a little bit corporate in the beginning of my career,
Yeah.
in banking, and I saw that they adapted a lot of our branding stuff and consumer reviews and everything. But I noticed it was all about them all the time.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of that. I noticed I'm like, oh, these companies, don't have my best side,
Yeah.
and it's okay. I get it. It's a company. They're looking, and then I come from an island called Sicily. And we've been invaded thousands of times from different countries. It's true.
Yeah.
So we unfortunately don't trust nobody.
Right.
And
You don't trust anybody.
I do not. And that's why, no, I love everybody, but we don't trust 100%.
You don't trust corporate. You're always like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
love
because
corporate,
they're
but
like
yeah,
the
I get it.
invaders,
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you go in Sicily, they never really trust any. They don't care about the person in charge. They're not brainwashed. They're not drinking Kool-Aid of the party on the right, the party on the left. Nobody.
Yeah.
We're just like doing us. We're being us. you know what I mean? The little towns are sticking together, and that's it. They never
Yeah.
cared about, whoever came, the Turkish, the Spain, Romans, whatever it was. And yeah, it's in my DNA. Don't trust anybody out there. So that being said, seeing all these sites and everything, they're trying to get your clientele and,
Yeah.
all these Redfin and Zillow in the world, we got to fight back at XR. So that's why
Absolutely.
maybe one day we become half robots, And I'm joking. But I wouldn't debate me. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get the chip that Elon Musk has. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see.
He has the
We'll see.
chip in his head.
Thinking about creating it.
No, actually it exists. He
Yeah.
offers, there's people, they'll say are disabled completely, and
They have it.
they
yeah.
could install something, and they'll connect automatically your brain to the computer, to the device.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's
super-
coming.
It's good.
People are going to be against it probably, but I don't know.
I'm good.
I mean,
What about a chip to buy stuff?
No.
No?
eventually.
I don't want anything in my body like that. No thanks.
I might consider. I'm kind of
You
sick
might
of the
consider?
credit cards.
You're tired, just have it right
Just
there.
be
But you have
done.
your
Beep,
phone.
choom, choom.
Apple
We'll
Pay it. Google
yeah,
Pay it.
yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah.
I'm not even at that. Oh my gosh.
But besides all that, I really feel it's really important to do your job right if you're comfortable. Comfortable in a place where you work at, because if you're uncomfortable, you're just gonna have a lot of pressure. You're
Yeah.
not gonna have the right energy, and it's gonna show to your buyer.
Yeah.
And it's gonna show on your production. You're not gonna even feel like getting out of the house.
For
Yeah.
sure.
In my opinion. And I feel like realistically in real estate, I see a lot of agents. They
You
go
get
through a
burnt
phase
out.
and then they burn out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have you guys seen it too? Right?
Yes.
I think more than we've seen it, I think we've all probably experienced, in
100%.
our careers, that burnout.
Yep.
Like Jonathan made that other podcast
Yep.
episode of I almost quit.
Yep.
That was 100% relatable, right?
True.
Because I think we've
100%.
all gone through a moment in our life where we contemplate maybe this isn't for us,
Yes.
right? Where we are, we want to quit, we want to give up. I think it really does matter where you're at,
Yeah.
right? When I felt my burnout, when I wanted to quit, was obviously with my previous brokerage when I was, overworked. The difference here, I think, is that the pressure's still there, right? We
course,
all
of
want to
course.
succeed.
Of course.
And you definitely put pressure on us to
Yeah.
bring our best
I mean, it's still a
forward.
sales job, so,
Right.
yeah.
Bring our best forward. The difference I think here is that the pressure is there, but the tools are there. Right? The tools, what we need to succeed.
Yeah.
You're here's everything you need.
Correct.
If you don't do anything with it, then
That's
on you.
That's on you.
Right?
Correct.
But I will give you the resources that
Correct.
you need, or you
Correct.
give us the resources that we need.
Correct.
And you're do it. Right?
Yeah.
And it helps, right? It helps, even you put pressure on me. I hate being on camera. And
Yep.
you're just I want you to be in a video. I want you to do this. I want you to, and I'm oh, okay, all right, fine, I'll
That's
do
why
it.
you're here today.
Or even Carlos will be
Yeah.
when are we gonna do our next video?
Yeah.
And it's
even today, you girls are oh, maybe we'll see in a couple weeks, 3 weeks. I'm no, it's gonna be next week.
right.
That was me.
Yeah, that was Nancy. I'm no.
That was me too.
I'm like-
Can we? I'm super busy. Can we do it after the 12? You're no.
I'm no,
we're
you
doing
need more
it
content.
today.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is good, and we need
We
somebody
need that
like
pressure,
that
right.
to just get it going.
Yeah.
And I wanted to jump in on this really
Yeah,
quick
100%.
because when I started in real estate, it was maybe a little bit of Instagram, here and there. And I've just watched where we're going, and you gotta be in front of the camera now.
Yes.
I think.
I know.
And I've tried to resist it for a long time.
I know.
Not because I'm shy, but I wasn't with the right group to do
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And it's a vibe, and
Yeah.
that's why, because people are oh, are you shy? I'm not shy. It's just you have to be supported
Yeah.
to do this type of stuff,
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a excuse. I don't think it is. That's just how
No.
I genuinely feel about it.
What about you, Sherry? What do you think? You have had
Yeah.
huge progress too.
Yeah, I have, to be honest. When I was in my old brokerage, there wasn't anything like this at all. At all, to be honest. It was hard.
Zero.
Zero. Nothing. I think, and I can't say too many negative things about it.
No, absolutely not.
I have to say that I learned a lot. In my old brokerage, I learned so much about real estate because everything that I learned from where I was is where I am today. because there's a lot of legalities, a lot of things that I know
Of course.
that a lot of agents don't know with being in other brokerages. Because I got that one-on-one, where other brokerages, people didn't get that one-on-one, and I
Yes.
did. So
Yes.
I'm very, very grateful for my old brokerage. The one thing that I didn't get moving forward, as where I got kind of stuck, is the social media. I only had Facebook. I just did Facebook every time, Facebook, and it was good, but it wasn't where I am now, where I came in with Greg. It was like, okay, well, you got to do more of getting in front of the camera. I'm like, no, I don't know if I want to do that. Because in a lot for me was, there's a lot of people that I felt there is a lot of jealousy in doing a lot of
100%. Yeah.
putting myself out there. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that are jealous.
You
I
could
mean,
say there's haters.
It's true.
there's a lot of haters.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of haters.
Not a big deal.
People that don't want you the good for you.
Yeah.
And so I felt that. I feel that sometimes, but I put myself out there, and
Yeah, I actually.
forget about that.
Did you ever post that big sale that we had?
I
You
did,
had?
and I only posted it one time.
I didn't even see it.
I did. I posted a big sale I just had the
It was-
first time
I
that
saw
I had.
it, the $1 million home.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I saw it.
I only posted
1.6.
it once.
Yeah, 1.6.
1.6.
1.6
1.6
million.
Yeah.
Hey, that's huge numbers. I mean, listen, I'm not doing it as a show off that I want to show off, right? I really do not care about the fame, the money. That's nothing. But people, there's other agents that do it. And some other agents sometimes, nothing wrong, love everybody. There's a lot of bullies. And they
Yes.
think like they'll bully you like, oh, I'm an expert, blah, blah. So that's kind of like proof of success, right? And then even for your clients, because I have clients that I almost lost because the other agent just put up a better show, even if he had no results.
Yeah.
So from that day on, I'm not talking about decades ago, I'm like, you know what? I gotta show that what I'm doing. I gotta say, I can't be shy. I can't think about the hater. You just
Yeah.
can't. Sometimes it's like, really what it comes down to is you against you.
Yeah.
Like this. It's your mind against your mind.
Yes.
And that's on your sales, on your daily routine, on being consistent, and even on burnout. Because trust me, probably my DNA, and we do have like some depression in our family, and I probably fight it every day.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect,
Absolutely.
But I fight it because I'm not gonna let it bother me that much, anything.
Yeah.
Anything. As long as my family's healthy and I'm somewhat healthy, everything else, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everything's fixable.
And I think it's really, being on camera and doing all of these things, it's vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
You feel very vulnerable. You're giving yourself to the world and
Yes.
expecting that the world is going to judge you on it, criticize you. And at the end of the day, some people are, right?
100%.
And some people are going to love you and support you and be proud of you, and some people are
Okay.
going to
Yes.
criticize you or even not watch your video but not
I'm
like
going to give you some real
and-
talk. Sorry to interrupt you. Just because I come up with an idea, because then I forget. So I got to say it right away.
You know that ADHD.
I got to say it. Some real talk about it was like 5 years ago or something. Because I've been on camera, but not that long. Like my whole game plan was always about relationship, network, meet people, hug the babies, hug the person, do events. That was my thing. Then the mailers. And then I noticed, because I always adapt to the times. That's why the robots, I think, is the next thing. But anyways, that we'll figure out later. But right now, then I noticed the tension was with social media. So I'm like, okay, I got to get better. So I go to an event. It's between realtors, and there was a lender that I know, really good guy, and the realtor too. I'm like, oh, Greg, wow, we see you more online. Man, I got to say, it has improved. Has improved a lot. We were grinching before. How do you say in English? Grinch? Yeah, when we used to see you.
Yeah.
Grinch. It was like,
Oh,
do you know
like-
at that moment, if I
like
felt a little bit
cringe?
cringe.
Cringe.
Yeah.
They used to cringe?
Yeah, this is exactly what you told me.
Yeah.
But what
You think I felt good? I felt at that moment that it kind of hurt. I'm like,
Right.
I'm sorry. I just say that.
I'm not
sorry.
the only
But
one dropping
I'm not-
F-bomb.
no.
There it is.
I don't know that word, but hey, I need my 2-3 minutes. I'm like, but it fueled me more. I'm like, you know what? F you. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
And now I outblew him out of the water. He can't even keep up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a social media, got podcasts, this, that. So what I do, the hater fuels me more.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done for
Yeah.
So
what? Yeah.
thank you to the
Many years.
hater.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, the hater.
Yes.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here because of that comment, actually.
Thank you, hater.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That comment is because we're here.
And I think I'm learning that. I'm
You
learning
know?
that, and I'm getting a little bit more out of my shell. When I first started doing social media, getting on the, online and doing it more
Yeah.
and watching you and kind of getting ideas, because I have a lot of
But
ideas.
question?
I have a lot, and I like to have fun, and I like
right.
to joke around. If you guys
Yeah.
see me,
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is it working?
Yes, it's working. I am busy.
Oh, interesting.
I
It's work. So people
busy.
are texting you,
Yes.
emailing people from your
Yes.
sphere.
Yes.
Yeah.
People referral,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They're like, oh, Sherry, because people want to work with
They
people
remember.
people want to work with people they trust,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that's how we're gonna avoid all this freaking technology coming
Yes.
after us and Zillow and Redfin, etc. But if you're a secret agent and they never see you and you're hoping they just think about you,
Right.
Yes.
I don't even know what I ate last night. How is a person gonna think about you?
Yeah.
It's true because
So that's
before-
why we do this.
Yeah.
Before, people used to say, "Oh, I didn't know you were an agent. Oh, I forgot you were an agent."
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh,
People know.
Sherry's an agent.
Wow.
Call Sherry." And then I
Wow.
get a call and they're like, "Oh, I haven't heard from you
Wow.
in a long time."
Wow.
Oh,
Interesting.
because you're an agent. Oh, yeah. This person called you. Oh my God. And I'm just like, "Oh, wow.
I'm telling you.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And a lot of
Thank
brokers
you.
out there, not that I want to, give myself credit now, they really don't want to tell you the full story how it works. Nobody really. When I was growing in the business too, I met agents that were a lot successful than me, a lot more. I had them my game, I had them my times and everything, but they would never share one thing.
Right.
I'm like, why?
Why?
I don't know.
You still don't know.
I still don't know. I don't
Wow.
know. And they won't share about the video works. It's hard, unless
Yeah.
you do like a special training. You sign up for Tom Ferry, Brian Ruffini paid coaching. So that's why we're sharing everything. at
Yeah.
XR. That's it. Just do copy and paste, and of course, do it your way. You know what I mean?
For
Don't
sure.
do. Everybody has to put their personality.
And I
in
think
it.
that's what happens a lot is that
Yes.
people who are hesitant, right? It's like, well, we have this idea of what's the right way,
Yes.
what we're seeing.
Yes.
And it's like, well, at the end of the day, you just have to be you, because if you're not
Yes.
you,
Yes.
that's going to come across
Yes.
too if you're just trying
Yes.
to be something else. It's
Yes.
vulnerable, you have to be you have to be who
Yes.
you are.
And you can't have our chat, right? We have a chat, the office chat.
Yeah.
What is it called?
No fear.
no fear.
fear
No
agents.
fear agents.
Me and Frank, I've been telling Frank no fear since
Yeah.
like 2007.
Yeah.
Because we used to get bullied all the time. The
Yeah.
Berkshire, I'm sorry, I don't say it, I don't even care.
Yeah.
The Berkshire, the Remax, the Caldwell Banker, bullies, literally bullies, making me feel like an ant.
Yeah.
And now the whole office, forget about it, I'm not gonna talk about numbers, but
But that no
But that's
fear
what they used to do.
mentality
That's how it was, yeah.
that is within I think our team and our brokerage is contagious,
I love
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
Because I was scared.
I know.
I was very scared. You remember the first day
I
we
know.
met, and
I know.
you telling me I have to be on camera, and I'm like, no. And I mean, for years I fought it. Like, I can do it without being on camera. I can do it. I can
Yeah,
do it. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, it was fear that was holding
Yeah.
me back.
I know.
So like your no fear
Yeah.
is. It's like, well, if Greg can do it, I
Yeah,
can do it.
100%.
Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And it's different. Obviously, you've been doing it for a lot longer, and you're
No,
super
but-
natural on the camera.
Trust me, not that
but
natural. You heard about the
it's-
comment that I had before. Took
Right.
time.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think the message is that there's always going to be a hater.
Yes.
Right? Even there was a post on Instagram the other day from a top producer. I won't say his name. He's got a podcast. He's up there, one of
Yeah.
the top groups, right?
Yeah.
And he sent like an email to his sphere, and
Yeah.
somebody responded to him, a
Yeah.
really nasty email message saying,
Yeah.
I don't even care about you. You look like your life is miserable. All you blah, 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 blah. And he shared it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that is an opportunity. You can let that break you down,
100%.
or you can
Yeah.
take that and, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I know people who make comments like that
Yep.
or have the time in their day to send you a nasty message,
They're not happy.
they're not happy people.
They're not happy.
They're not happy
not happy.
people.
Misery loves
and
company.
it says so much more about them
They're not happy.
than it does about
Yep.
you.
Yep.
And so you cannot allow the
Yep.
opinion of
Yep.
somebody who's miserable
Yep.
to dictate how you show up
100%.
every day.
100%.
And you have to maintain your sanity and joy for your
Yes.
clients.
Absolutely.
Because when
Yes.
you show up, I have to show up and be 100% every time
Yes.
because
100%.
Yes.
Yes.
it has to be flawless.
Yeah.
There's no fear.
Yes.
So when somebody sees me for the first time, they have to look at me and say, I'm in good hands, no fear. We got this
Yep.
with her. And when you're on the internet all day, it's fine, we all do it.
Yes.
But if you start reading the negativity, it will
Yes.
seep into you. So you got to turn that off. And I
Yeah.
think that's a way to maintain mental
I agree.
health is to know when to turn it off and know that it literally does not matter.
Yeah.
You just got to box it
Yeah.
off and be like, we're
100%.
done there.
Plus wine.
Yes.
I'm joking. But you know, I totally agree because we got to be, you know, you got to understand the client's already like, you know, they're already stressed out for the whole process. They're coming from maybe issues with the family, work. There's all kind of stuff, and they trust in us.
Yeah.
That's
So if
true.
we don't give that confidence that we got this, and we seem like scared, or not that confident, or we have all this pressure, you're gonna show that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really important to
Yeah.
get there with a good energy too.
And you can't expect anybody to trust you
Yeah.
if you don't trust you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't
100%.
feel confident.
Yes,
Absolutely, no.
100%. Oh my God, 1,000%.
It's a
Yeah.
great quote.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I love
Quote
it. We'll
me
make
on
a reel out of it. All right, Carlos.
Absolutely.
She needs some content. Let's create a reel out of it. It's been awesome.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really happy to have each one of you. I know there's so much potential. It's still unlocking little by little.
Yeah.
I know about it. That's why I kind of insisted with all three of you to make sure you worked at XR.
Yeah.
I follow up because I know there's potential, a
Yeah.
lot. And I want you guys to grow and become successful and take it from there. All right, episode 53
Yep.
is over. Ciao, ciao.
All done. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.